This is INCRadio, DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
Hello.
Hola!
Bonjour!
Konnichiwa.
Ni hao!
Ciao!
안녕하세요.
Mabuhay!
Welcome to Washington State.
Explore the sights.
Discover new things. Appreciate the arts, music, and food.
Travel to new places.
Meet the people.
Make new friends.
In other words, come home with us.
Come home with us.
This is INC Radio Seattle, Washington.
Good afternoon and good evening to all members and listeners all around the world. I want to thank you for joining us for yet another edition of INC Radio Seattle, Washington. I am your host for today, Brother Marlon Taduran from the local congregation of Tacoma, Washington. And we have a very exciting topic to share with all of you here today on our show. I realize that we have an echo going on at the moment. No, I'm not at the top of Mount Rainier at this moment. So we'll try to fix this as soon as possible. But thank you for being patient with us and joining us for today's show. Because on today's show, our topic will be Beyond the Bridge. I'm using the echo to my advantage to make it sound very impactful because we're going to be talking about Bainbridge Island. So what and where is Bainbridge Island? What can you see and do there? Well, stay tuned as we discuss that in our segment today. Also, we will hear from our correspondent who will have an update on the news and activities in the district. And we will also show a hidden treasure segment showcasing an amazing place here in Washington State. We also have our ongoing hashtag challenge. Hashtag. All right. So when you go to the comment in the chat, make sure you leave a hashtag with your local congregation, and the winning congregation will be the one with the most hashtags at the end of the program. So I know all of you are excited to know our winners from our previous hashtag competition, and that was about 2 weeks ago on February the 15th. So for that day, coming in at third place is the local congregation of Seattle. Right, congratulations, local congregation of Seattle. We also have at number 2, the local congregation of Bellingham. All right, congratulations, local of Bellingham. And at number 1, it is, drum roll please. All right, it is the local congregation of Everett. Congratulations, local congregation of Everett. And you're going to find out why Everett was the number 1 congregation, because for the individual brethren that were the most active during our hashtag challenge, coming in at number 3 was Sister Sophia Fiolino from the local congregation of Everett. No surprise there. At number 2, we have Sister Rosalina Brown from Bellingham. Very great job there, sister. And at number 1, also from the local congregation of Everett, we have Sister Maureen J. Flauta. So, yay! Congratulations to our brethren and to the congregation. Let us keep on participating in our hashtag challenge. We love it so much that all of you are there participating in the chat. It really helps out our station, and it's just a lot of fun to see everyone's reactions and everyone talking to each other in the chat. So let's have fun. All right, without further ado, we're going to introduce our guest for today. It is none other than our brother DJ. If you could please tell us your name, your local congregation, and if you have any shout outs for the DJ, now is your time to do so.
Thank you, Brother Marlon. Hi, everyone. I'm Brother DJ from the local congregation of Seattle. And for my shout outs, I'd like to shout out all my friends and family and everyone from the local Seattle. And most importantly, our executive minister, Brother Eduardo Manalo, and our overall CFO coordinator, Brother Angelo Eradio Manalo.
Thank you so much, Brother DJ. And it is a pleasure to have you on the show again as a guest. You're always welcome here at INCRadio, Seattle, Washington. So we're very happy to have you as our guest for our discussion today. But we don't only want to hear from Brother DJ, we also want to hear from all the brethren listening from all around the world, all our listeners. And this is our question to the chat here on our channel. We have to ask you, have you ever been to Bainbridge Island? We want to know. And we want to know what your experience was like. If not, what is a place you've recently visited? So if it hasn't been Bainbridge Island, where have you gone to recently? We would like to hear about your travels, and we will read the response later on in our discussion. Uh, all right. So with that said, we are going to go straight into our topic of discussion today. And if you've forgotten, it is called Beyond the Bridge. No echo this time, but we are going to talk about Bainbridge Island. So, Brother DJ, can you give us an idea of where is Bainbridge Island and how does someone get to this island?
So, Bainbridge Island is located west of Seattle, east of Bremerton, north of Tacoma, and south of Kingston. And if you want to get to Bainbridge Island, you could either take the ferry from the terminal to get to the island, or if you're up for it, you could drive the long way around, go down to Tacoma, and then to Suquamish, and over a gate pass bridge to get there.
That is correct. So when I visited there once, in my lifetime, and we took the long way because we're coming from Tacoma. And yes, we went over many bridges and roads to get to the island, and it is quite a beautiful view driving there. We haven't taken the ferryway, so maybe we'd like to try that in the future. Brother DJ, how did you arrive to Bainbridge Island?
When me and my family were going, we took the ferry from the terminal to go over to Bainbridge Island, and on that day it was very windy.
Oh no. Did you go out onto the deck of the ferry? Did you like feel the wind blowing?
It did. My hair was flying all over the place while I was trying to take pictures.
Oh, still a good feeling. I probably would have done the same thing. Every time we go on a ferry, I just have to feel that sea breeze going through our hair. If you don't have hair, that's okay. It still feels good. So, uh, no offense to anyone that doesn't have hair. Moving on. So we know how to get to Bainbridge Island. We know where it is. Uh, Brother DJ, what inspired you to visit Bainbridge Island?
My grandparents were visiting us at the time, and we wanted to make a lot of memories with them while they were still there with us.
Oh yes. It's for me when I went with my wife and my daughter, we just went out of curiosity. And yeah, it was a lot of fun to just see the scenery and just to not knowing what really was ahead of us, and discovering all the sights and sounds and uh, different businesses. Speaking of which, how would you say Bainbridge Island is different from other cities here in Washington, Brother DJ?
Well, what I saw is that Bainbridge Island is more like a tourist attraction more than a residential area because you don't see too many houses nor apartments there. All you really see is like shopping districts and like food areas.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what we saw when we finally made it to the town area. Just a lot of things for tourists to do. I remember going there, and there's a lot of history museums, art museums, different parks. You can do hiking there. They have a farmers market, a performing arts theater for those of you that like watching plays, and plenty of beaches because of it's an island, so very beautiful place to visit, especially if you are a tourist. Speaking of which, what kind of places did you and your family visit while you were there, brother DJ?
Well, one of the places that I had the most fond memory of was a Japanese American exclusion memorial. Uh, yeah, memorial, which commemorates the internment of the Japanese Americans who lived on Bainbridge Island at that time.
Oh wow, I've heard of that place. Not sponsored, by the way, but yes, that was a place that was I was very curious about, and that's really neat that you and your family were able to visit that educational and historic place. Definitely something that many people probably don't know about that happened here in Washington State. Okay, so other than activities, was there any kind of food that you had while you were on the island with your family, brother DJ?
The food there is a bit hard to remember for me, but it was mostly like fast food industries, like McDonald's. They also have small restaurants and cafes there as well that you can go and visit with your family and friends.
Definitely saw a lot of cafes, and they do have fast food places. Not sponsored again by McDonald's, but yeah, sometimes some of us may eat there to get a quick fix. I know of some restaurants there, they like to specialize in seafood because it's by the water. If you're a fan of oysters, I hear they have a great area there. Um, I'm not sure if they serve them cooked or raw. I like mine on the cook side. How about you, brother DJ? Are you a fan of oysters and seafood?
Yes, I'm, well, one of my favorite seafood would probably be like shrimp and yeah, oysters.
Oh wow. Yeah, those are definitely delicious. So it sounds like out of the places, did you have like a favorite food spot that you had there? Was do you remember the cafe you went to? Was there anything special about it?
Well, there was this really small ice cream shop. I don't really remember the name of it. Although their serving size was really small, I really enjoyed it because I got to spend that time with my grandparents, and my grandpa had actually bought that ice cream for me.
Oh, that's no pun intended. I was just gonna say that's a very sweet memory. Um, oh no, the it seems as when you enter fatherhood, the dad jokes just come out automatically. So I can just feel my wife just shaking her head in disappointment. But yes, that sounds like a very nice memory that you had with your grandfather, sharing that ice cream with one another. So we do have a few comments here. We have one from brother Andrew, which we'll hear from later on in our program. He says he went to Bainbridge Island in 2010, and it was to go camp on Camp Islandwood for a school field trip. He says it was an amazing experience away from home, learning about nature. And you will see that immediately. As soon as you get on the island, you'll be surrounded by beautiful scenery, the water, all the trees. It's a very, very beautiful place. You really get that slice of Pacific Northwest a feeling over there. We also have a comment from Sister Tia, one of our producers here at INC Radio. Thank you, Sister Tia. She says she's been to Bainbridge Island once. So also once, I believe in 2022 to visit one of the many giant wooden trolls. Okay, so I've heard about that also as a tourist attraction. They are hidden in the forest, and they are quite large. If you don't believe us, you can search online and see the pictures, or just visit Bainbridge Island yourself and be surprised when you run into one in the forest. And we promise that they are safe and not dangerous and not too scary. They're really neat. I believe they're made out of wood. Uh, very neat. And thank you for that comment. And we have one from Sister Diana DePano. She says, not sure if I've ever been to Bainbridge Island all my years of living in Washington. Well, we need to change that, Sister Diana. We have trolls in the forest, oysters, and we did a little research too that me and Brother DJ were talking about. It's this place, not sponsored though. It's called Frog Rock. So if you'd like to see a rock that looks like a frog, Bainbridge Island is the way to go to get that fix if you want to see a frog rock. So don't miss the amazing sights and sounds and tastes of Bainbridge Island. So, with that said, we are reaching the end of our discussion for today. Brother DJ, would you encourage others to visit Bainbridge Island? And if so, or not, why, Brother DJ?
Well, I would really encourage others to go see the culture and history of Bainbridge Island because honestly, it is really important to preserve the past history of those who lived on these lands before us or before we were even born, but also so that you can see all the sights and wonders that Bainbridge Island really has to offer.
Thank you so much, Brother DJ. Couldn't have said it better myself. Definitely worth the visit. And if you can, bring your friends and family and just enjoy the sights and sounds that the Pacific Northwest has to offer here in Washington. Now we're going to move along to our next segment, which is CFO in action. All right, Brother Andrew, what is going on and what activities do we have?
Thank you, Brother Marlon. Um, let's talk about previous activities first, okay? We might be caught up in the action, and I am at this moment, I'm remembering all about my experience camping. But we have to go back. We had a baptism in Seattle last night for our district of Washington State. So congratulations to our newly baptized, and we thank all of those who supported that activity. Such an amazing occasion. For our future activities, for CFO in action, we have our choir special gathering tomorrow for all of the choir members in our district. That will be tomorrow in the local of Seattle at 4 p.m. So please be early. I know the choir will be early. Those who will be performing, they will be early. But let's support these kinds of activities, especially when we get to be there together. We don't often have these occasions, well, for the choir or for the other officers. So we encourage a lot of these special gatherings. For March 9, which is not tomorrow, but it's going to be next Sunday, we'll have our district all officers meeting. That is at 6 p.m. in the Seattle Chapel. So this will be an all officers meeting where officers will receive instructions and they get to spend time together. Let's also take this opportunity to support each other, right? Especially for the local that you're in, for the officers here in our district. Please support so that you can receive the messages that you definitely need to know and apply in your local and as well as for district. But let's also be reminded that on March 9, we'll have our daylight savings time. That's when it will begin. That is when we will spring forward. Our clocks have to be set if it's not automatic, it's 1 hour forward. But whether or not it's automatic or not, you will have to adjust in your mind. So be very careful. You will lose an hour, but it's there to save daylight. You'll expect a lot of good daylight, longer days, which brings us to our weather. For Seattle, we had very sunny days in the past few days. There will be rain showers from Sunday to Wednesday. Here in Seattle, we're expecting low 50s, and then for the high, it will be roughly around the 40s, but expect things to be a little bit brighter, a little less colder. Again, dress for the weather, and maybe you can go on an adventure if it is safe for you. That's all. Go back to you, Brother Marlon.
Maybe we can adventure to Bainbridge Island. So, with that said, thank you, Brother Andrew, for our CFO in Action segment. We will now like to conclude our program for today. But before we do that, we just want to remind our listeners and viewers that there are many ways to tune into the program. One of the ways is through our YouTube channel. To find us, just type in INCRadio DZEM 954 in the search bar. And while you're there, don't forget to subscribe. You can also catch the show at incradio.org. So what are you waiting for? Tell your friends and loved ones to join us for all the fun we have here at INC Radio, Seattle, Washington. And we'll be here next week. So join us for yet another program. It's going to be a lot of fun. But with that said, we want to say a special thanks to our brother Eduardo Manalo, our Executive Minister, Brother Angelo Manalo, our CEBSI President and CFO Coordinator, Brother Ramil Regino, our District Minister, Brother Relly Rivera, our Assistant District Minister, Brother Chris Valdez, our CFO Overseer, Brother Manly Dyer, Executive Producer, the listeners, thank you so much for joining us today, and the INC Radio Tech Crew. Without all of you, this show would not be possible with all of you by our side. So with that, from INC Radio Seattle, we will see you later.